Okay. Hi guys. It's Tough Mama. It's day 21 technically for me being home from work and being here with my daughter and my three dogs. And let's just say that as much as I love all four of them, three dogs and the daughter, being home with them all the time has been quite challenging to say the least. My daughter, I feel so sorry for her because she came home from spring break from UB, and probably about halfway through her spring break, they said, yep, you can't go back to the campus. So she still has some of her worldly belongings on campus and she can't go get them. But needless to say, everyone here in my house has been healthy thus far. And I try not to venture out too often because that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to stay home and do the right thing, and that's what I'm trying to do. But I am missing my students a great deal. For those of you who've been kind of following along, I had taken a different job within my district. I'm working at the Tech Academy with a program that is for kids who don't necessarily work well in a traditional high school setting. And so we were doing online courses with them, and then I was doing one-on-one teaching with them within the classroom. So it was working pretty well. Unfortunately, that course had only started about 3/4 of the way through January. So we only had just about 2 months together, and then this hit. And so now I've been scrambling to stay in contact with these kiddos and encouraging them to do the work online and trying to piecemeal things with them via Zoom and Google Classroom and Remind and all of those wonderful technology devices, programs, whatever you want to call them. But I've noticed that they've kind of fallen off the face of the earth for some of them. I get voicemails a lot when I try to call, and when I send remind messages, I don't often hear from a lot of them. So it makes me worried, and school was supposed to be closed through the 20th of April. Now it's been pushed back until April 29th. So it's very hard for me. So I'm worried about those kids because these are high school kids. And but my heart, let's see, this is what quarantine here looks like. My heart is really like missing my middle school kids. I mean, I was pretty sure about the first part of March that I wanted to go back to Purcell and to my middle school kids, just because of all sorts of things, but primarily because I kind of missed that age, and I realized I think I really am a middle school teacher at heart. And then when this hit, and I realized like I have a lot of time on my hands to be doing some thinking and soul searching and reading, and I'm thinking about all these things that my students in middle school are going through right now, what they're feeling, what they're thinking, what they're worrying about. And that's my reminder, like that's where I need to be, because my child here, she's a full grown woman, and my dogs, they're okay. But I worry about my kiddos in middle school. And I am worried about my kids at the high school, but they're more grown and they kind of understand things a little bit better, or as much as anybody can understand stuff in the situation. So anyway, my goal is to, I'm not going to do daily videos because I think that would be too obnoxious. I mean, that, and as much as I want to say I have the drive to do a daily video, I don't. I'm not going to lie to you. But I'm going to try to do some videos over the next couple of weeks, primarily geared towards my middle school students. And I have a couple surprises for them coming. Nothing too exciting, but just something for them where if they're scrolling through YouTube and they have subscribed to me, they can find it. But I think I've sort of deviated from what this channel was supposed to be about. The whole premise was me being a tough mom and trying to figure things out and explaining life's challenges. Well, let me tell you, this is something that I don't care where you're at in this world. We have not ever experienced something like this within our lifetime. And I think that a few things. I think one, this gives everybody an opportunity to take a breather and to slow down and to recognize what's important. Number two, I think it gives us the opportunity as a society to reevaluate how we treat one another and how we interact with each other. I miss seeing my friends and my colleagues, and so I try to FaceTime or Zoom or at least give them a call or a text. But no, it's not the same as being in the same room with them and laughing and, talking about things. And sometimes as human beings, we take one another for granted. And I think this has really given all of us a perspective that we need to enjoy the time that we have with the people that we have, because, you don't know how long people are going to be around. I know that sounds kind of sad, but you don't. But you also are put in a situation like this where you just can't go over to Sally's house and have a cup of coffee and chit chat about life. Another thing that I've realized, it's given me kind of a new kick in the butt to get back out there and exercise. I've been going out in my neighborhood for WALKs every day, just about every day. And that's been great because this quarantine eating has not been so great. I try to do keto and I'm not so keto friendly right now. And I think it's also good just for the earth too. I know that sounds terrible, but I've been reading reports on how things are clearing up and animals are returning to areas that they hadn't been seen for in a while. And, everybody needs a reset button. And I think this is our reset button. My concern is that the lessons that we learn over the next weeks, months, perhaps, that we don't forget those lessons. That's something that we need to focus on. So my ideas for these videos, I don't know. Just come along for the ride, see what they'll be about. I'm not crafty, but I do have a crafting one coming up. My daughter and I are attempting to do something, so that will be forthcoming. And I wanted to get out there and say hi to everybody and let you know that we're okay here, and that I miss my students, and that if they need anything, they know that they can reach out to me. I've sent them my number, but I will link it down below. My email, I'll link that down below, and they can email me if they need anything. I'm not gonna link my number, that'd be stupid, but they have my number if they need me. And I just hope everybody follows the guidelines and takes some time to do some reading and some writing, and obviously take a moment to breathe.